Today, my name is Christine, and today I will be showing you how to do chocolate covered strawberries. I know right now you're thinking chocolate covered strawberries easy, until it's not. One of the main problems people have with chocolate covered strawberries is that when they use the candy melts and they dip them, they dry and they're thick. The candy is thick. One of the reasons that is happening is because if your strawberries are not completely dry, it will do what's called a seize, which means that the water and the chocolate mixes, making it hard. You can thin out your chocolate melts fairly easy. So right now I have this on, and this is a Wilson candy melt, and this is Wilson chocolates, and I'm preheating it, letting it get nice and hot. I'm going to pour the chocolate in here, and then I am going to add a teaspoon of shortening. I'm going to let this get hot, and as you allow your chocolates to get hot and melt, you want to continuously stir it. If you let it sit too long in one place, it will start to burn and it will get thick. So you want to keep constantly stirring your chocolate. And once your chocolate is completely melted, you want to use it quickly. Alright, so I've been stirring, and I switched spoons because, I figured I might need my measuring spoon once again. Now, if you're using a Wilson chocolate melt like this, when you start melting it, you want to put it on high to melt your chocolate. And right now, this is the consistency this is with the teaspoon of shortening. So I'm going to add another teaspoon of shortening. Actually, that's about a half. I don't want it too thin. And I'm going to go ahead and melt this down in here as well. And once your chocolate is melted, you want to turn your chocolate melter down to warm. That way it will just warm it. And while you're dipping your strawberries, you want to continuously stir. So now it's at a consistency like this, a little thinner. Now, I have these little toothpicks here, and what I'm going to do is, first off, you want to have some strawberries that's really, really red, okay? These are not completely red. I mean, it's in February right now, and strawberries is really scarce to find the really red ones. But if you can find them, which I'm sure you can, want to get the red ones that's pretty sweet. I did not take my leaves off because I just think it just adds color. Well, anyway, so little strawberry on my toothpick, and then I'm just going to kind of tilt this and dip. Allow it to drain a bit. And then I have this right here that it's just sort of a makeshift cooling rack that I'm using. Just something that I want to use it to kind of let it dry and drip downward. And so, doing another one through here, tilt it, dip, back in there, let it drain a bit. Now, if you're doing decorations where you're doing a swirl pattern on your strawberries, you want to make sure you allow your first dipped strawberries to dry completely before you do any swirl pattern or anything like that on it. Now, if you're doing something like candy sprinkles or anything like that, then you can go ahead and put that on there while it's still wet, because then it'll dry in there. And I'm going to do one more. This one is actually without any leaves. Again, one more dip. Let it drain. Drain enough to where it's a slow drip left. And then be creative. Figure out a way to get them up there to where they'll drip. Now, I've done 3 of them. And I'm going to stir. And notice that it is still loose. So I'm going to go ahead and continue. This is the first one that I did. Now, if I had not used the shortening to thin this out, this coating would be twice as thick on here, okay? It would have been twice as thick. So the next thing I'm going to do, pull off these little, clean it up a bit, and little point that was the drip on there, let's clean that up a little bit. These do not take long to dry. This is what I wanted to show you. These are edible crystals, all right? So, you really want to make your life simple? Here you go. Make this real simple. Remember I told you to let it dry completely, the first coating? This is why, because when you put that second coating on, you don't want it to kind of ruin the first coating. Then I'm going to do this. See that? Put it on there while it's still wet. And let it dry. And this one here. This part up here. When you're using this, if you're going to just put a little on there, you want to put it on the part that's wet. That's another reason why you want to make sure this part is dry so that it won't get onto this part. And I think that I'm going to put a little more on here. And then now these little sprinkle crystals are edible and they are very sweet. I'm going to go back through here and kind of re-wet this part, because I'm going to go ahead and stick the sprinkles on this part as well. This is a great way to cover up any of the ugly design you might have did, like me. There. Excellent. Close that up there. once these dry, what I'm going to do is I'm going to place these in my little box here. So I'll be back with my finishing strawberry box. Alright, so my strawberry box is done. So my chocolate, just because I had 4 of them, just 4 corners, and my strawberries. Now, just to recap, if you're using a Wilson chocolate melt or any other chocolate melter and you're using melting candy and it's thick, add some shortening and add it until it's thin and loose enough to the way you want it to be. And if you're worried about how your strawberries will look or how your strawberries will come out, don't worry about it. If you've made it thin enough and you dipped them and, you know, let it cool just for a few seconds, guess what? Even if you're not a good designer, there is a remedy. It's called magic sprinkles. Okay? They come in different colors as well. So you can dip them strawberries in that chocolate and sprinkle this on it and you're done. They come in different colors, so you could do silver, you could do red, whatever color you want to. And it's no fail right there. Dip your strawberries, sprinkle this on it, and they're going to be beautiful. Also, if you're going to buy strawberries and not test them or taste them because, you know, they don't want you to open them or whatever. If you're worried about, if you get them home and they're not sweet, guess what? The chocolate and this right here, this is like pure sugar. With the chocolate in this, it's going to be sweet. You don't even have to worry about it. You get your little paper, whatever you're using, trim it down so it'll fit in the box. Make sure you're doing yours really neat or whatever. I am just doing this to just show you how it can be done. Now, mind you, if I was making one of my strawberry boxes that I was going to give to somebody, I would actually be sitting down, dipping my strawberries, taking my time, and any of them that I didn't think were beautiful enough, I would actually, sadly, I would toss them because I'm making them for somebody. I will be making them for somebody, so I want to make sure that they're just absolutely beautiful and gorgeous. Most of the stuff that I show you that I make do end up going to waste, or my daughter would end up getting it. So here, now we have that in there, and then we just cover it up, put a bow on it, and you have a strawberry and chocolate box to give to your significant other if they like chocolate covered strawberries. Now, I'm going to say this one last thing to you. Do not even attempt to go out and buy chocolate covered strawberries. Go to the store and buy a box and put the chocolate covered strawberries in the box and say that they're yours, you made them. No. No. Because if I'm the same, if I'm that person, I'm going to say, oh really? Can you show me how you made them? And then you're going to actually have to prove that you made those. And people are going to know the difference. So don't even try it. Be real. Make it yourself. The more you do it, the better you'll get at it. This has been Christine of Christine's Awesome Things. And I'll see you soon.